Have you seen a Christmas show this year yet?
Probably not.
Nailed it, Jay.
Probably not. A little bit early.
A little bit
late.
I did it early. Merry Christmas, everyone. It is the start of May, and Jamie's bringing Christmas.
It's a bit bonkers.
And why not? But the price is right.
bonkers.
How much money are you taking off? There's a big discount on this show, right?
Exactly. This is your chance to get ahead of the game and get stocked up ready with a beautiful couple of Christmas collections, to be fair.
25% off. They're all individual. A lot work together, but they're all individual,
absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
Embossing folders, stamps, dies. Also on the show are the essentials that we were talking about in the previous house. If you want to get your glitters, for example.
Every bit of sparkle you are going to need to do your Christmas creations this year.
You can only get those prices with the website on the screen, jamieonthecraftstore.com. Go there. And when you go on jamieonthecraftstore.com, it's just the homepage, right? Scroll down, past 10 o'clock. Have a shop at 10 o'clock. Get to 3 p.m. All of these are there, right?
They are, every single one of them, all shown with their discounts marked off of them, so you don't have to enter any coupons or anything like that.
Yeah.
If we can keep it simple, we'll keep it simple.
Now then, if you're watching right now on Facebook and there's one that you want to particularly, you're on the website and there's one you want to see, let us know, right?
Absolutely.
Comment it, let us know before you check out your baskets and we'll grab it and we'll have a look. We're going to go as quick as we can because there's, how many items are out here?
Quite a few.
4, 6,
About
10,
22.
20 odd, 20 plus.
20 something.
We'll maybe go 1 minute per item, so we're going to go quick. So please get ahead of us on the website, jamieonthecraftstore.com, to get hold of these. A one-off show. The prices are going to be held for 48 hours after this.
Correct.
We go. Right, let's start right in front of us here. We've got our scene-setting dies, right?
Yes, so this is exactly that. This is our Christmas scene dies. So these are expandable, and by that I mean that the only blade line, the only cut line, for instance, is across the top of the trees or across the top of the houses, meaning that you can extend them for as long as you want them to be.
Oh, nice.
So if you're doing scrapbook pages, home decor, wrapping these around decorative candles, you can do all of that, and then they stack together to make your little scene. And of course, you've got Father Christmas to go in the air above it all.
It will go back up to £14. It is £10.49. £10.49 for these dies.
And then here we have the matching stencils. So the stencils come to you in 2 sizes and coordinate exactly the same as what the die set does. So you can then stencil behind and build up a bigger picture.
That's really
So
fabulous,
for instance, you've got the tree stencils coming in here in both sizes, and then the die set of the houses in the front there. So it all coordinates together.
I don't know if you just heard that thing that just dropped. We're already making a disaster. But also,
right.
Santa comes out as himself and...
Yeah, of course, yeah, you don't have to
Isn't
use
that
them together if you
fab?
don't wish to, but if you'd like to, you can absolutely stack them together and build up all manner of little scenes and displays using these.
So the dies are £10.49. Those scene building stencils, £4.49. Thank you so much. So you're not far off with the 25% saving, almost not paying for the stencils when you go for the dies.
That's a good way of looking at it.
That works out, right? So if you can, both those together, they work together. As we move on to the next duo, they are individual purchases, but the opposite Christmas tree, it's kind of the same theory,
yeah,
right?
exactly the same. So with this one, we have our die set. So the die is bringing you the one large tree. It's always important to me that we bring you symmetrical trees when we do trees, because then that way you can build them up, you can fan them out, you can put a ribbon in the middle of them and hang them on as a decoration.
Wow. Is that the stencil?
And then yes,
right.
And then here we have the matching set of stencils. So the middle set of stencils in here is exactly the same size as the tree. So if you wish to colour behind it and then add the die over it, you can do. But then you also have the larger tree and the smaller tree as well. Whoa. And you can use these to colour behind the dies, you can use them to emboss with, you can build up larger scenes with them. The choice is completely there.
We've got a lot more to explain with these. There's all sorts you can do with outlines and embossing them through after all. But actually, these could be full-on decorations, right? Full-on ornaments, spinning elements.
Literally, yeah, just hang a thread between them and then absolutely turn them into proper hanging decorations for sort of Christmas displays or Christmas trees, whatever you wish.
So the die is £11.24, down from £15. The stencil is £5.99. So again, you're nearly getting the stencil for nothing. There's £1 or so in it, but you need to put both those items in your basket to be able to do that, right? To get them all together. Oh, we've got a little head of steam going up here, right?
We're not doing bad, are we?
Next on my list. Is it festive foliage?
Correct.
Okay.
Next one along.
Is it festive foliage?
That's correct.
Okay.
So that's your board for that one.
Wonderful.
So with this one, you've got 6 different dies in here, giving you all of sort of the berries and the holly and the twigsy bits that we're going to need to build up our scenes, whether they're with the trees or whether with the upcoming poinsettias.
Twigsy bits, look at that. Oh, Happy Christmas is on the way, isn't it, as well?
Yep, that's also on offer for you. And then this is gorgeous. This one's done by Lynn on our design team. And she's brought in our lovely large poinsettia. You're going to see this soon. Our classic poinsettia, and then some of these foliage elements and put them around it as well.
So again, the foliage, we're talking about £9.74 now. The classic poinsettia must be these, right?
This is the large one. This
the
is
large
the
one.
elegant poinsettia by memory. Yeah, correct. Elegant poinsettia petals.
Oh,
is
that's
the
coming up in
large,
just a second. Okay.
And then the classic poinsettia is the slightly smaller one within the set.
Well, I'm going to quickly show you the classic poinsettia individually right now, but the classic poinsettia, £11.24 down from 15. Here comes the classic poinsettia. Thank you, Jay.
So this is one die set that's going to cut all of that as it goes through. So all on one plate for you. So you don't have to sort of mix and match or waste card. One thing, and it's going to go through and cut them all out and emboss them for you. These have also got lots of deboss detail on them. So again, when we're thinking of bringing in our inks, bringing in our waxes, bringing in our texture paste, we can highlight all of that depth really nicely.
Oh, let me get this pure white one here. Well, it's not white. Is there some
Bit of
shimmer and shine to that? Yeah, wow.
Well.
And that's, so I see like our petals in there, and then of course our classic poinsettia that we're talking about right now, and I imagine some of the foliage too.
Even our snowflake corners are coming up as well. So yeah, a little bit of everything that you're going to be seeing.
Just got that, and there's one in colour, so you can spot all of those. Now then, so your classic poinsettia, £11.24 down from 15. I know we're going quick, aren't we? It might be worth, when you watch this again within this 48-hour period, to rewind the start of this, and we'll crack straight through.
Never hurts.
Never hurts, is it? Right, here we go. Is this the elegant poinsettia?
This is.
Petals.
Yes, so
right.
This is your large format poinsettia. I really wanted to bring a set that could, although we call it a poinsettia, it could be used all throughout the year, but it's designed in such a way that you basically have the positive and negative to each petal in lots of different sizes. Some of them you might even just choose to use as a little Christmas tree on their own if you wish to.
Nice.
You can cut them in or cut them out, or you can cut back in plates to go behind them. And then as you can see, there's a few of these dotted around. You can go really big with these. You can go really lacy if you prefer, like this one, or the one that was on Lynn's one, or you can back them with another colour of card.
Look at the height on that, wow.
And then exactly that, if you can go as 3D as you wish to. So maybe these are table decorations, maybe this is the top of the tree. Maybe these, again, you're gonna do back to back and hang a thread between them and turn them into the sort of tree decks.
Yep.
Well, there's no stopping you with this set.
It's only £11.99, so for £12, you're getting all of this potential home. Not forgetting if your basket gets to 25, right? Free P and P. That's not one item, that could be
whatever you want.
£25 items.
Yep, mix and match to get to your 24. I think it's £24.99, 25, something like that. Something like that.
How about that?
Tells you on there. But yeah.
It said 25.
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But if you want to be £24.99, let's not quabble over
No. Free P&P is all we care about. Why spend money on P&P if you don't have to?
Exactly. Oh, there's all sorts coming here. Right, corners.
Corners.
Where do these come into play?
Our corners are brilliant. I love these. These have got so much fun and ways we can use them.
Let's go Holly Jolly first.
Let's go Holly Jolly. So Holly Jolly has got 5 dies in here by memory, 6 dies. You've got your 4 corner elements. These are filigree pieces. You then have what we refer to as the X die. We'll show you this when we go to play with them. But there's a die that you can use to cut out the individual pieces on their own. You can cut the backing plates to go behind them, or you can choose to cut them in and leave them in your cardstock.
Like that.
And then there is also a fancy panel which you can cut these into to create effects like that if you wish to.
That's really cool, isn't it?
We call it a corner set, but there is so many ways in which you can use this. Borders, backgrounds.
That's physically what it looks like what you're buying.
Endless.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we get a lot of value out of those. There is just so many tangents we can take them off on.
So that's Holly Jolly, which is £9.74. The frosty side of things is also £9.74.
Exactly. So same idea again, frosty snowflake corners this time. So your X die is in here, your 4 dies to create the filigree panels. And you'll notice that the square is the same size, but a different edge to it. So we're not doubling up, we're giving you more options. The more you collect, the more you can create with them. This is a really lovely card.
Yeah, isn't it?
Because this is showing you how literally you can take 3 of the 4 panels, cut them in to make one side of your frame as such, and then move them round on all 4 sides to create that frame. Again, showing you the same idea, just using them as a cut-in border like we show you with the Holly ones.
These for making and selling. Same cardstock, away we go, different designs, same die.
And it's
Same
down
centre.
to you. Because you're playing with such a small, tangible piece, it's really down to you where you take them off to and where you stop with them. Team these with some of our nesting dies, and you've got endless hours of fun.
Love all of those. As I mentioned, they are only £9.74. Both for those, you're still not quite at your £25. That is the sheer value for money on those two. Right, we've seen a lot of these next two, which are like the circular elements, but that shows how useful they are, I suppose. Is it Happy Christmas first?
Happy Christmas, yeah. Happy Christmas comes first. In this set, you receive 3 dies.
Okay.
You have got your filigree panel, which is your Happy Christmas part. You have got your outside edge to go around the Happy Christmas, and then you've got a finishing edge. So in this case, the postage stamp edge, which you'll notice matches in with the one that comes with the frosty corners, so you can layer them. The bonus to giving you these dies means that you can leave that in your cardstock if you prefer. So if you don't wish to cut it out as a circle, you don't have to, but if you wish to, you've got the ability to. And then again, they intermingle with all of our circle sentiments to give you different outside edges.
Beautiful. One of the most affordable items on the show now, only $5.99. You're still getting 25% off that. If you are just joining us, by the way, we're doing well. Top shelf, 10 minutes in.
We're doing good.
Flying.
We're doing
Here we
good.
go. You get 25% off everything only on jamieonthecraftstore.com. You scroll all the way down to the bottom of that homepage. You go past the essentials, have a look at 10 a.m, 3 p.m, Christmas Bonanza. That's where all of these are. Okay.
Then we move on to Merry Christmas. So same idea again, 3 dies in this set, but you're going to notice, of course, your Merry Christmas element has changed. So has your outside circle. You've now got the fluted edge with this one, again giving you that ability to interchange between them. We like to do that where we can. If we're going to give you separate edges, we'll give you different separate edges, so you get more options within them sort of collections. Maybe you just want to use these to make your little gift tags. They don't have to be a full-on card if you don't want.
Well, I thought that'd be like if you want to make a lot for everyone at work or in school or whatever.
Yeah.
My gosh, how useful are these cards? If you've got kids or grandkids and you're going to do all the Christmas cards for them, this size is a godsend.
Yeah, it is.
There's 30 kids in that class.
Yep.
Do it this size.
Lot less cardstock, lot less time.
You've got to also carry them into school, etc., etc.
You speak from experience.
Do this size. Honestly, that's
no big cards for the kids.
No, exactly. Much easier. Okie dokie. That is the top row done. Should we carry on that? Hang on, where should we go?
Let's start here. So
we start with these two?
Yeah. There are our stencils to go behind.
Okay, let's talk Snow Flurry, shall we?
So we've done all of the dies. Let's look at some
Snow Flurry, yes you are.
So this is our Snow Flurry one. So these are 8x8 stencils cut from a deeper mylar or a thicker mylar than most traditional stencils are cut from. So great for embossing, great for inking through, and of course brilliant for bringing in our gemstones texture paste. You bring this in with our diamond white, you have got the most beautiful glittery snow effect going on. You team this and you work with our other stencils. So you're going to see
that got some glittery stuff through it.
Yeah, this is our diamond white texture paste going around the tree. And then of course you've got the tree from the tree set of stencils.
Rightio, so if you want to go for that 8x8 stencil, if you wish, that is $4.49, that is all. Again, if you're hovering around the £21 mark, 8x8 stencil, big stencil going into that same basket, right?
What more could we ask for?
Okay, so that's Snow Flurry, but they've got snowflakes.
Yep, so we've got large format snowflakes next, giving you that real sort of focal effect. And again with these, cut from our deep mylar, a thicker mylar, so great for embossing, great for your texture paste. Just an all-over snowflake that's going to work so nicely with all of the stamps and dies we're looking at.
Hopefully for that sample there you can see it through much better, but nevertheless, yeah, what a way to finish a card.
And then here's some of our black.
Hang on, what's going on here?
Little triple foldy thing.
Little triple foldy thing.
Yeah, we like them. So this is using our gemstone texture paste in the lovely black that we've got coming up for you, and teaming this with Rodney, which is also available on the show.
Rodney's on the show, Father Christmas is on the show, there's plenty more on the show for you, more poinsettias, etc. Pinstripes, all sorts on the way. But for that stencil, again, that's $4.49 for all things snowflake. Congratulations, everybody. I know it's Christmas. You're getting 25% off. And in our industry, it's Christmas in June.
It is.
We're doing Christmas in May.
And I will say a lot of these Christmas collections will work with things that are coming up for our new Christmas this year.
Yep.
So you're starting your collection, you're going to find that they're going to marry up and work well together.
Should we talk Rodney?
Let's talk Rodney.
This is Rodney.
Rodney has been our most popular character stamp that we've ever done.
Great name.
Honestly, the sky is the limit with our dear Rodney. Rodney will have more of a family coming later this year.
Rightio.
So this is your perfect time to get Rodney as sort of the father figure, if you like, of the family.
Are they Norwich City colours on purpose?
Maybe, I don't know. Who made it?
Ian?
I doubt it.
Okay, thank you, Ian.
Coincidence, I would imagine. But it might be. It could be. And that's the joy, though, isn't it? You could colour them to be whatever.
You nailed it. Well, the whole scarf and hat thing, it works for me.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, Rodney is going to be a part of a bigger sort of family later this year. So it's a good time to come in.
Oh, I recognise the diamonds in the background of Rodney there.
Yeah, we've also got that
on that last show.
Well.
Yeah,
and as you flick through these, you'll notice, although we've called him Rodney, it could be Rosie. It could be anything.
Of course it could be. You've got to call him, her something.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, lots of different samples here showing different styles.
Well, I can't really carry any more, so I'm going to leave it at that.
We have loads. Can you see we got a bit carried away
yes,
with Rodney?
You got loads. But to get hold of Rodney, the best-selling one, Rodney is $7.49, so should be $9.9. There's like a little set of 3 here, I feel like, isn't it? Like the whole Christmas collections. Same sort of size. There you go. You see there, Santa's next to it. I feel like these three all work together. If you like, here we go. Santa's coming up next. He is also $7.49. So well done. It's called the Gift of Christmas. Here he is.
Digging in. I'll give you so many samples. I apologise.
Thanks so much.
I apologise.
And I'll put that down there.
We're organised-ish.
Game on. What should I do?
I'll hold, you flip.
All right, you sure? Okay, I'll hold. You hold those. I'll hold these.
Anyway,
do you see what I mean? 'Cause it's the same size packaging. I feel like I completely get why it's $9.99, but a lot like the little flurry of magic in the Rodney stamp would look wonderful around Santa.
Yeah. The corners are really fun to interchange
Yeah.
and sometimes overlooked a little, I feel. But actually, those corners, even if you're just going to use them on the envelopes to match in and sort of complete the theme as such, works nicely.
Making that background there, yeah.
That's coming up as well. The background behind that one. That's our poinsettia melody stamp.
Yep, which is definitely on the way. Colouring this in, what fun colouring this in with the little ones, with yourself, with your alcohol markers, with your Spectrum Noirs, you know, whatever.
Yeah. We've got a little box actually on the counter we'll get to later where I've done them and I've just stamped them out in black. And my idea is you give them to somebody who doesn't make cards and then they colour them in.
Nice.
And I think that these kind of picture stamps work really nicely for that because it could be for a non-crafter.
Swap that over. Thank you so much. It is indeed, it is. That can go there.
Here
we go, poinsettia.
Poinsettia, okay. So our poinsettia set is beautiful. Whoa. This one has got the main poinsettia element to it. There's also a few floral bits to go with it. There is also a really lovely corner. I love this corner. This is a great one again for stamping all the way around on a frame or a panel. You'll see that lots. Yeah. So
see why I think they should all be purchased together with Rodney, for example, or that poinsettia bringing in Santa from the previous one.
Yep. It all works. This was one collection. So this is our Christmas wishes collection when we're talking of stamps. And it all come out at one time. It was all designed at the same time, so it all coordinates perfectly.
So Christmas wishes, again, $7.49. We'll go back up to £10. But whilst you've got 25% off, whilst you can get to £25 and get free P&P, please use this show, or that website more importantly, nice one, Jay, to get hold of everything there, JamieOnTheCraftStore.com. That is a lovely combination of all sorts that's already been on the show.
It is, yeah, because we've got the stencil in the background. We've then got our dies coming through from our scene set, and then we've got our stamps. We've even got the diamond stencil being embossed over the top of the frame there.
What are we up to next? I can't even work it out. Thanks so much. Poinsettia foliage stamps?
That's what you did. Let's do
that was what that was.
Let's do the biggie.
The melody?
Yeah. So this is cold. This is our melody stamp. So basically, as a stamper...
We have skipped on.
Have we? It's fine.
Let's do it. Right, okay.
So as a stamper, one of the things that frustrates the life out of me is background stamps that are limiting. So what we designed is a stamp that matches in all directions.
Right.
So you can literally stamp this above, below and either side of the original stamped panel.
Wow.
And it all coordinates. Everything matches. Whoa. So although we've stopped here at a 12 by 12, you could be doing your wrapping paper, you could do your front room wallpaper, you could do whatever you want. The only limitation is the size of the canvas that you're working with. So from there, you can take it into your card making if you want to, into your scrapbooking, into your gift giving, into your home decor.
Wow.
There are no limits, really.
And the melody, $8.99. Everybody at home right now, again, if you want to see anything in particular, because you want to go back to the melody or you want to go back to this and what works, put it in the Facebook comments. Obviously, I'll look on YouTube as well, but Facebook is the first place I'm spying. So you want to get hold of the melody side of things. That is $8.99. We'll go back up to $11.99. That's incredible.
It's great, especially for a DL size stamp. It just opens up so many opportunities.
Okay, I want to go to Christmas sentiments next.
Okay, that makes sense. I should have taken you there last time. So our sentiment set, I haven't stuck you any samples of that one. I've just give you the sentiment set because you're going to see these through so many of the things we're holding up. But you have literally a whole host of Christmas sentiments. Font-wise, these matching with one of our other sentiment stamp sets as well, so you might already have that and want to sort of mix and match them together. But you've got in here Christmas wishes, season's greetings, happy Christmas, Merry Christmas, wishing you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, with love this Christmas, sending warmth and wishes your way this Christmas, and then our nice biggie up here, which is wishing you all the joy in the world this festive season.
Wow, how many's there? 1, 2, 3, did you say? 10?
I don't know, 2, 4. You asked me so many questions, I don't know.
9.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 9.
No, few.
We'll go with 9. Probably says on the packaging.
It probably does.
9.
Anyway, 9 for $7.49 should be $9.99. That is Christmas sentiments. Right. I want to say snowflake stripes.
Yep, perfect.
Yeah?
That's the top on the right here. So the,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we're going off on a bit of a sort of system now.
Yes.
We've got our
Okay. Thank
snowflake
you, mate.
stripes. We've also got a pinstripe stamp.
That's
so
kind of
again, we're
easy, yeah.
looking at the DL size.
Okay.
The pinstripe stamp we're going to look at shortly. I don't know. Oh, I have left you out a sample of this. The pinstripe lines fit perfectly between the snowflake lines.
Uh-huh.
So this again is kind of a different concept for you. It's giving you the ability.
And this looks like that. So this.
Yes.
And I've seen that before. I've seen that before with you. That's coming up in just a second, but I get you.
And that fits over the top of this stamp so that
Okay.
you can do multicoloured stamping if you wish to.
Cool.
Okay.
Wow.
And then there's just a few examples.
Just on its own
here.
right though. With Rodney again.
Yeah, you can use
With Santa again. I recognise that in the background where the snow's coming from.
And of course, it's one of our pattern match stamps. So again, you can take this off to whatever size you want it to be.
Wow, okay, that is all things snowflake stripe. After snowflake stripe, let's talk pinstripe.
Okay, so the
So
pinstripe
put that down
does
there.
literally go over the top of that snowflake.
Okay.
You don't have to use it with a snowflake if you don't want to. It could be lines in an album or in a journal for you to do your journaling onto, but it does work on its own. We also have other stamps that we've not brought you today because they're non-Christmas designs that fit within those lines. You can, as like here, use it just to make up a nice sort of tartan background if you wish to. You can multi-stamp it in different colours on its own if you prefer.
Beautiful.
Oh, you shouldn't have them, sorry.
Oh gosh.
I don't know where they've come from. That's bad planning. So yeah.
You bought a lot, I'll let you off.
There is a lot. There is also, coming up next, some stencils that go within those lines as well.
Okay, so everybody, remember the pinstripe.
Yep.
Remember the pinstripe. The pinstripe is $8.99. We're now going to bring you two stencils, which are $4.49 each. Let's go Christmas icons first, shall we?
Okay, so this one is all different mini icons on an 8x8 stencil that is going to fit perfectly between those pinstripe lines.
What did I say? Christmas icons.
That's the one. So this is your stencil. Now you can use this again completely on its own. You don't have to use it with the pinstripe, but it just gives you a different option because now it means you could be stamping with your pinstripe stamp and then bringing in your Christmas icons, maybe bringing in some texture paste and some different colours.
Can you hear that at home?
There's proper depth to our stencils.
Yeah, there is.
And they really do give you that sort of texture. So it just works on its own if you want to. You can emboss these, of course, if you don't wish to use them with your pastes and your mediums and your inks.
Yeah, but look at these samples.
But teaming them together with that pinstripe line, this is what you could achieve.
Here we go in the background. Again, if you're making to sell, doing something like this in the background, you see the pinstripe, I'm with you, see it there as well. It just ups the value of everything you're creating. So you could pop another 50p on there, another £1 on the price.
Hopefully, absolutely.
Without a doubt.
That's what we want to do, give you that sort of elevated look.
Okay, that is $4.49. Not forgetting it goes with the pinstripe elegance if you wish to, which is $8.99. The final one you said was it star lines?
Yes, correct. So star lines again is going to fit between the pinstripe lines of the stamps. Again, you don't have to do that. You can use them completely on their own if you wish to, but it's nice to have that matchy-matchy coordination if you'd like to.
Matchy-matchy. Here we go. So that's what it looks like. And again, I know it's on the Christmas show and it does make sense in that sense, but it could be for anything.
Any celebration.
Birthdays, passing a driving test, new home, star of the week, you know, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But these star lines are fab, aren't they?
And then showing you again here, just matching in with that pinstripe, just to give you an idea of what that's going to look like for you.
I think that looks so good. Like any sort of celebration, a party or anything, couldn't it?
Yeah. Even New Year's, you know,
New
once
Year's,
Christmas is done with, but New Year's, perfect time.
But the pinstripe does look good with it. It's all spaced out perfectly for the pinstripes to fit in. I like that colour combination. But you're showing us here how so many of your products work together. Because they're all from the same heart, aren't they? So away you go. That's them all, right?
That is. We did well.
Go team. Well done you.
Good.
I'll sporadically put those back, hopefully keeping them in piles. So if you're just tuning in, you've missed out, I would encourage you to rewind the last 20 minutes. We've gone through everything you're seeing here. Just at the front, Chris, if you can, there's all sorts of samples down there showing you how, again, how all of these elements come together, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the combinations really are endless. You'll see big boxes with the large poinsettias on. You'll see Christmas crackers. You'll see those cards with the fretwork done on them.
Yes.
The options are endless.
What are you going to go for? Is it the corners? Is it the merry or the happy Christmas side of things? Are you going to go down the stencil side of things? Not forgetting the very first things we showed you were those scene builders and the opulent tree. They're all jamieonthecraftstore.com. That's the only place you're going to get a further 25% off them, and then free P&P at £25. So it's worth filling your basket, and off you go. Hope you're doing it all in one transaction. We're going to go straight to demo, if that's all right, Christopher. Super, he says, go for it, because there is so much on here. Now, the essentials that you'll also find on JamieOnTheCraftStore.com, like the glues, all of these things still have a further 10% off as well, don't they?
They do, there are extra
every
savings.
single item, we've got extra savings just for this show. This show, by the way, you're gonna hold that price for about 48 hours. So please, by the time it gets to the end of the weekend, we are done with that extra 25% off. So check out your baskets of all things Christmas sooner rather than later. Right.
So we're going to start off with this card. This again is one of our triple layer cards. If you got to see the earlier show, we was talking about how we can build and mix and match with our nesting dies that are again all available for you today. But this time we're going to focus in on the scalloped set of them. And if you've not seen these before, I want to start off by talking to you a little bit about how our nesting dies work.
Yes.
So I've brought in the scallop set here just to share with you. So with these, we have our scallop die as a separate outside die. We then have our pierced effect, which normally in a lot of sets and a lot of brands comes attached to the outside scallop or the outside line, but with ours they come separate. That means they're not attached, so you might just choose to use this on your card and cut it in and have that as just a pierced detail running around the frame of your card or on a detail on there. It also means that you can bring in multiples of these and nest them together. So maybe you don't wish to actually cut out every element, you just wish to sort of pattern build and make a bit of a background with them. And that's what we're going to do for this cut. We'll bring in a few of these and then everything coordinates together. So of course you've got a set as well available today of the plain ones. So we're starting off with the scallops, with the pierced, but maybe you're going to look at the plain set. There is a plain circle, octagon and square available too.
By the way, Peter's hands must be on fire because he's been putting lots of links in the products we were just talking about over there. He's getting almost too good at it. So listen, if anything we've missed out or you want a reminder of the link for what it is, put it in the comments on Facebook.
Yep.
What was the one with the scallop or the deckled kind of things? Peter's all over it. Angela is saying hello though. Hi Dan and Jamie. Hello Angela. Carol Ann says, hi Jean. Is Carol Ann talking to somebody else? Maybe there's someone called Jean on the thread that I can't see.
Maybe.
Oh, hi Jean.
Maybe.
Sheila says, good afternoon. Alison says, I've got Rodney. Can't wait for his family.
Yeah, he's got to have some additions this year, hasn't he? We can't leave him on his own.
And June says, hello, gorgeous cards.
Oh,
I thought she was saying hello, gorgeous, first of all. Hello, new message, gorgeous cards. Thank you, June. Okay.
So now these have gone through, all of that lot has cut for us and all of the piercing work has been created for us. So it really is down to you where you wish to take these and what you wish to do with them. There are so many options and ways that you're going to be able to lay them out. You might even wish to bring in different shapes and add those into the centres instead of just sticking with circles, or you might wish to use those and add corners around the sides of them. All different options really is what I'm trying to say. The options are endless.
But they all look right, you know what I mean? Like it's not that doesn't work together. That's the point of those triples that have been popped together.
And every size is going to nest up for you so that you've got every sort of option and layer that you could do with really. There are other shapes and sizes available or different edges I suppose I should say. So again you can add more to that collection. But
so the mats and layers, the scallop, the decals, the planes, you get square, octagon and circle, $69.99. Just to highlight the saving there, will go up to £88. And you can divide things on PayPal if you want to. That'll be free P&P also.
It would.
JamieOnTheCraftStore.com. Well done everybody shopping this afternoon. Appreciate you having a shop around, particularly with the Christmas to 3 p.m. show. Like, that's a proper scroll up and down and put a fancy basket together and press checkout. That's the only way you're going to save 25% off every single item in that section.
There is a few bits on there, isn't there?
There's quite a few
options. So with this card, I've gone ahead and I've used my plain squares for the gold bits, my plain octagons obviously here for this one, and my plain circles for that layer, and then used all of the scallops to match in with them as well. And this is why I feel it's important for you to have all of your different options.
That now, if you popped Happy Father's Day,
it could be anything.
Sense. Happy Anniversary, makes sense. Christening, makes sense so far. It's just a lovely base, really elegant, very mature, I think, lovely and grown up. And
like with your corners, your snowflake corners, for instance, they would fit really lovely into these edges as well. Point. So if you don't wish to go necessarily with so many layers, you might prefer to bring in a detail. Let's have a little look. Maybe we was to use like the holly corner, for instance, and bring that in. That would fit really nicely. If we just tuck that slightly under that edge, that would fit perfectly into that corner and bring you another sort of festive
little nod, isn't it? Yeah.
Maybe if we cut that out of this layer, you would have then had the gold shine through from underneath it. So you could certainly Christmas this up even further if you wanted to.
Christmas it up.
There's no reason why not. Okay, so then let's move on to our tree. Our tree is definitely one of the stars of the show today.
And this is that opulent tree, right? One of the first things we showed over there. It does have a coordinating stencil, if you wish.
So I'm going to show you a little trick here for if you wish to cut a background to this. This is one die, so when we cut it normally, it's going to cut through and it's going to give you a lacy finish to it. So you're going to end up with an open work of a tree. But with this one, I wanted to add in a solid backing to it. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to put down my first layer of cards. So I know I want a white cut from the tree. We're going to place that down. We're then going to bring in some mirror card. Now I'm going to use gold for this card, but we're going to use silver for the cut. And we're going to add that on the top. And I was talking about this in the earlier show. Whenever we do this, what should happen is all of the filigree parts of that die are going to cut through the white one perfectly. But when it comes to the next layer, the silver layer in this instance, we should find that it's cut all around the edges really nicely, because that's where the deeper blades are, but probably not done as much of the filigree work in the middle. This isn't a bad bit about the die, it's because we're asking for it to cut through about 550 GSM of card in one go, which is a bit of a tall ask, really. Now we can send it through multiple times if we need to, but what we should see, like here, is around the edge, and this one's got quite a few filigree bits to it, so it might take a moment of teasing, but we're just going to be able to go in and remove. We don't need every single twiddle and place in place, because we're going to cover them with the top layer.
Natalie on YouTube has said, Happy Christmas, Jamie and Dan. Natalie, happy Christmas. You're the first person to say Happy Christmas. Happy Christmas.
That's a bit peculiar, that bit.
Yeah, we're not quite half.
But we're with it, Natalie, don't worry.
But we do in Craftland, don't we? This is not unusual in Craftland.
It's not really. It's kind of very standard.
Very standard.
I can remember we opened a shop like 20 years ago, and we opened it in February. We went through to Christmas. We had our Christmas, and then Christmas had happened, and we took everything away. And we opened the store the day after Boxing Day, as you do. And the first person through the door asked for Christmas peel-offs. I'm going back a long time. But asked for Christmas peel-offs. We were like, it's Boxing Day. And I was like, yes, but I'm in the mood. So that was my first lesson in, like, Christmas doesn't end, does it?
No.
We don't ever really stop Christmas.
I'm up for it.
Yeah, I'm up for it. I'm in the mood. So, okay, onto our die here. You can hopefully see this. On our silver one, there's a few white bits that have come through from this die. That's fine, but instead of pushing down on them to get rid of them, all we're going to do is bring in a palette knife and just flick them off the top here. Because all these filigree bits that we're left with on this die, if we push them enough, they are cut, they will go through, so we don't really want to push down any pressure on there.
Okay.
But if we leave it, what we've got then is a perfectly embossed filigree tree that we can then work with and build up. So what we would do is bring in the white version and glue that over the top. And this tip can work with pretty much all dies if you don't have a separate outside edge to them, to give you that perfect backing plate to go behind them. Because it isn't always possible when we're designing dies to give you an outside edge to them, because when we do that, we lose some of the detail around the sides, because we've got to allow more width to them, and it just kind of loses the delicateness of it. So with this one, we've now added the two together. I've already added on lots of gold gems. You're going to find with this tree that it has actually got on here lots of debossed elements for where you can just go ahead and add your gems or your pearls or your glitter glues, whatever you wish to add on to them. From there, we're going to bring in some of our little foliage pieces. Now these, of course, are from the winter foliage set. So we're going to bring these in, and we're going to use some of our glue to anchor these down.
Now then, the foliage set, 2 seconds, caller. Festive foliage?
Yes.
Okay, $9.74. $9.74 down from $12.99. And it's such a reduction, Jay, really, I think, makes it a real option, a possibility that you're going to pop another item in that basket. So, you know, maybe there's one thing that you absolutely love. Just double check what else you absolutely love, because you'll find, like this, how that foliage, for an extra $9.74 rather than £13, works beautifully alongside. Or maybe Rodney's going to pop in there, or maybe it's going to be
perfect.
You love the tree right now, and you're thinking, oh gosh, the amount I could do with that stencil that matches it actually, which, bar £1, you're not paying anything extra for, with the 25% off the tree and the 25% off the stencil that coordinates with.
We love this.
Yeah.
This is how we shop, isn't it? What are we saving? What can we save? What can we then spend them savings on instead?
Absolutely.
So then we're going to bring in our poinsettia. So I'm just going to do this so I can move bits around quickly, because if I haven't quite placed these in the right area, I've still got a moment to move them. But we're going to tuck those into there.
Yeah,
now
you're saving $3.50 there, and you're saving $2.50 there. What's $3.50 plus $2.50?
I don't know.
$3.50.
6?
Is it 6?
Yeah.
Well, your seam building stencil is $4.49.
Okay.
You're saving £6 by putting that in the same basket.
There you go.
Ipso facto, upside down, inside out.
So we've
You're not
saved
paying for
more
that.
than we've spent.
Yeah, that's getting
I
25% off that as well. I hope that makes sense, everybody. Also, hope my maths is right.
I am always worried about that.
Yeah, there's
'cause
every
I know
chance.
my ability. So what we're doing now is with our one plate classic poinsettia, this has gone through and it has cut and embossed for us. And we're just going to shape those and put them together, just in case you're wondering how we've ended up with the ones on the card. There's lots of different styles to these petals on that one plate. So you've got a few options on sizing and styling when it comes to building. But just glue those together, a few pearls in the centre, and that's what I've done to create.
That could be sold individually as a corsage or like a brooch.
Of course they could, yeah. So again, these are
Build
quite a
them
nice
up.
size. If you wanted to build them up with another back layer and then put a thread between them, you could hang these all over your tree and they'd look really pretty.
By the way, I think your saving is £5, not £6. However,
I think that was the only bit of the maths I did.
yeah,
Sorry.
I know I did, but even the figures I gave everybody, just talking to Chris and me, were also wrong. But it's done it again in my head. But the stencil is £4.49, so you're still saving £5. So the message still stands.
Okay, good. Right, now
Which I bothered. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's it. Card number 1 done. Should we stand one up?
Yes, stand them up, absolutely, because the colours you put together. And Jay, if you love that scenario, like we were saying before, we held up 2 that were like blue and white, didn't we?
Yeah.
If you love those colours, then think about adding in extra foliage, or think about having Santa just in the top corner, or think about the Merry Christmas or the Happy Christmas being on there instead of the poinsettia.
Yeah.
Just a completely different look. Actually, your favourite colours.
Why not?
And the suite is being created. I'm going to nip back and remind everybody what we're talking about, then we'll straight back to more demos, right?
Okay, no problem.
Okay, friends, come with me. You know what, guys? I'm not even going to talk price. I'm going to leave my clipboard there because you guaranteed are saving 25% off every single one of these in front of us. Lots of them work together. That's kind of what I'm really trying to highlight to you. But if you love one of them, absolutely, just order one. But I bet when you're on jamieonthecraftstore.com and you've scrolled down, you go past all the essentials, you're saving 10% off all of those with the spray, the glitters, and the waxes, for example, even the glue. You're getting further 10% off all of these items. The matte and layer dyes, a further 10% off. But keep scrolling down. You'll get to 3 p.m. it's titled. You'll see all of these. All of these in one place. And you can have a proper look around, make your fantasy basket. I don't talk about that every show, but I'm a real believer in it. Everything you love the look of, put it all in one basket. And with that 25% off, it might just be within your budget. If it's not, take something out. If you get £25, even with the 25% off, get to £25, you're going to get free P&P. If you've got everything that you love and it's at £20, check out your basket then. Go for it. If you're watching in America, you can check out your basket. Jamie ships it internationally as well. Whatever you are after, ready for next Christmas to make and sell and to make a profit or to do something different because you didn't see these first time round. There's the pinstripe one, by the way. If you want advice, get that pinstripe one because that was first brought to my attention, not on this show. There are lots of other stamps and stencils that work alongside that pinstripe because that's like a real universal one that works across all the different occasions. But this collection right here, right now, and anything you want to see particularly, if you're watching on YouTube, you're watching on Facebook, once you've got that 48 hours right now, well, we're live for another 15, 20 minutes. Oh, show me the pinstripe, please, Jamie. Or maybe it's the elegant poinsettia. Or maybe it's going to be more of that tree again. Maybe it's the corners. Shout out in the Facebook chat and we'll demo that for you. Or if you want a particular link to a particular item, Peter is on it. He will send you the link as well on Facebook. But look at what you can be creating at Christmas for your loved ones. Just enjoying craft. That box with the poinsettia on top, spectacular. The Merry Christmas on the side, the matching card that goes alongside. Those two together, make and sell, make a box for the card to go in, make your own envelopes, get Pinflair's envelope glue, you're running. And you're making to sell, and you're making a profit, or for charity, or for whatever you wish to do. Right, friends, I'm going to leg it back for more demonstrations, but just to remind yourself, you don't shop on the Craft Store website. You can have a look there if you want to, but you can't buy anything there. You shop on this website, jamieonthecraftstore.com. Scroll down, click on 3 p.m, and that's where you're going to see absolutely everything. And that is those elegant petals side of things, isn't it? Which you can get hold of. Elegant poinsettia petals, which can be as big or as small as you want them to be. But thank you so much. And these are all those extra elements I was talking about, particularly with the waxes, whether we're using this show or not. You did a lot of waxing last hour, didn't you?
We did. A little bit obsessed, really, weren't we?
Quite right, too.
But
You can watch that again as well.
We
Okay.
like that. So this is the card that we're going to do next. We're going to use Rodney for this one. Because
super.
I love Rodney. We can't ignore Rodney, can we? So we're going to bring him in and we're going to stamp him out to begin with. He's going to, of course, be the main focal to our creation. So into the stamp press he must go. We'll give him a little ink.
When you're creating cards, is there any, like, do you work on the background first? Do you work on the main focal topper, if you like, of Rodney first?
I'm sure I should say there's some sort of plan or reason or whatever, but there really isn't with me. I'm kind of everywhere.
Okay.
Some days I'll sit, I like colouring in front of the TV. So like if we're doing a stamp release, I'll often stamp out 50 items and then sit and colour them whilst watching telly of an evening, because it's something you can do at the same time, isn't it?
Not noisy, is it?
So exactly, I did a lot of the Rodneys when I was doing that. But besides that, I think it kind of depends on where you want to go, and I kind of go a little bit off on different tangents. Sometimes I'll make the backgrounds first of all, especially if I'm struggling with ideas. Sometimes that comes to all of us, that we're like, well, what are we going to do now? Is that going to work? So I'll start off and do a background before I build up the card. So yeah, it really does vary depending on mood.
So you're not wrong, whatever you do.
No, you're not wrong. No, and I think sometimes it's kind of a nice question to ask, because I feel we're all in the same boat. I often get asked, you know, how do you get over those moments where you've got no ideas whatsoever? And to me, I'll sit and make a flower or I'll make a background.
Nice.
Because I know they're the bits that will inspire me to carry on. So for this one, we've gone ahead already for speed, and I've stamped out the pinstripe stamp. And then this is a different colourway to what's on the card, but it'll be nice to show you different ideas. So we're going to bring in our snowflake stamp, and we're just going to stamp this one in red, just to give you a bold shade. But it's more trying to share with you how it's going to fit perfectly in between those lines. So maybe you want to bring in your metallic inks, maybe you want to bring in your embossing powders, maybe you've just got different colours you want to work with, maybe you want to do it all in one colour. The choice is completely down to you on what you want to be doing with it, but it's that simple to take the two and put them together and really give you a lovely effect.
Real different look, isn't it, with a pinstripe or not pinstripe? Yeah,
and you could build that up to whatever size you want it to be. You know, just move it and carry on and keep going. Usually, actually, when I do that, if I'm going to go larger, when I place this stamp, I'll put it so it's one over where it needs to be.
Okay.
And then you've got the perfect placement for the next stamp.
Yeah.
So you're interlocking them a bit like Lego, if you like, for instance, instead of actually now trying to work out where to put that next line.
Excellent description, that.
So we'll take that one out of the way. And then while we're here, let's bring in another one of our pinstripes. And this isn't for this card, but it's nice to kind of show you different bits as we're going through them. So if we dig into this little tub
Christmas
here,
icons.
Christmas icons. And then let's bring in one of our texture paste. Should we go for the red?
Now, texture paste are on the show, aren't they? Let me quickly remind myself.
They are.
12 different options, $5.84 each. That's down from $6.49 because you're getting a further 10% off. There you go. They're all of your 12 options.
So we're going to delve into the ruby red.
Oh, gosh, it's a perfect name for that.
And we're just going to hook this out. Now, at home, I would probably tape that in place and make sure that I'm in the right place. But for speed, we're just going to sort of go for it and see what we end up with. Now, one of the bits I really recommend whenever we're talking about glitters, inks, anything along these lines, is don't just look at them as what they are. Of course, you can use them as what they are. That's great to do. But start looking at them as ways you can mix and match them. Treat them a bit more as an ingredient instead of as what it is, if that makes any sense. So if we take our red, for instance, to make that slightly come forward and actually explain what I mean, and we then bring in our gold. So this is our Heliodor gold. Something that it took me a lot of years, and I mean a lot of years of playing with glitter texture paste to realise, is you tend to think if you bring two colours of a product together, because we're used to working with paints, for instance, and the more colours we add in, the more they muddy, with glitter texture paste that doesn't apply. Because of glitter is a hard product, it's not going to mix, it's not going to go brown like it would do if it was paint. So if we take two colours, or three colours, or six colours, and we mix them together, what we end up with is a new effect.
Oh, I love that.
A new multi-tone colour. And then on top of that, with glitter texture paste, this is glitter suspended in a clear medium. So again, you can't colour the glitter necessarily, but you can colour the clear medium. So if you've got our metallic reinkers, for instance, or you've got our elite misters, or any other kind of liquid colour, Drop that into this mix and you'll colour the clear suspension that this glitters within.
Nice.
So maybe you want to bring in like a navy blue and end up with a triple coloured effect. You can absolutely do that. And if you make a bit too much or you make a combination that you really love, pop it into an airtight container or an airtight bag if that's the best you've got to hand, and then you can mix it and match it and keep using it. We'll take that away, and then we have got our perfect icons.
That is so beautifully, like the gradient going through, isn't it?
And it just works, doesn't it? It just matches to what we need it to match and gives us a completely different effect, all whilst working with that same pinstripe stamp.
So to remind ourselves, that is glitter texture paste with the Christmas icons. 25% off both.
So going on to our card, I've already gone ahead a bit here. I've cut down the front of my card, so I've got a slightly thinner panel. We're going to bring in just some coordinating colours so it all coordinates together. So we'll start off with our Decadent Ivory. And we're going to place that down on the top here. And then we're going to go on to our lovely pinstripe stamped panel. Now this time I went for green snowflakes.
Why not?
Why?
Well, people can do whatever they want. Actually, there's a debate going on in the feed right now. Lovely Maureen. Hello, Maureen.
Hello, Maureen.
Maureen said, my goodness, it's only May. We're only 5 months from Christmas. So Maureen is not a fan of Christmas. Maureen, that's absolutely fine. But there's also a lot of people that are. So if this isn't the show for you, you can turn over, Maureen. That's not a problem at all. However, the point of this show is, what if someone's watching hasn't got Christmas yet? Or what if someone's watching, it's suddenly popped in their head? Because we in the craft industry do Christmas in June normally, don't we?
Yep.
And after all, this gives Jamie a chance to make a bit more room for the new stuff coming in. So therefore, to offer 25% off, Maureen, where it might help somebody else, I think it's absolutely brilliant. And that is the whole point. And if you get like different ideas of composition, using the pastes, for example, the waxes, for example, and some of the elements within the Christmas range haven't got to be like the stars, for example, haven't like the pinstripe, haven't got to be used with Christmas. So
That's
basically,
right.
more of that story is, if it's not for you, Maureen, it's not a problem at all. It turns out there's other things to watch. But lots of other people are enjoying it. June, love the snowman. Alison says, us crafters have to start early making cards for so many people. I completely agree with you, Alison. And Laura, Andrea, Barb, Sue, Becca, Colleen, Kathy, Lynn, Andrea, all agree. So thank you all for watching.
I'm like this. I put everything off to the last minute. So for me, this is great because it means I've got an early start. But it's not for everybody, is it? And we know that and we get that.
Yeah.
But if it's something that you're into, then it's good to
Imagine
get
when it comes to crafting in June and this came out and it was the usual price. But you're like, we could have done it last month for 25% off.
Yeah.
Maybe that helps other people afford what is on the show.
And a good question for you all, actually. All of you lot who are sort of joining in. How many Christmas cards do you make? That's always a question that I'll find such a variation in answers to.
It's such a time to get your teeth into it, I think.
Yeah. And if you can, in my world, if I can break that down and do, I don't know, let's say 2 a month now, that's a better place for me to be in than going, oh, it's November and I've got to do 60. You know,
well, getting them
out. And it's just time, isn't it? It's just time management, really. So here we are with our lovely snowflake corner. You've probably seen me stamp enough already, but I love this corner. This one comes in with Rodney. And I think sometimes Rodney sort of steals the show a little bit and we miss this corner. But it's so beautiful and so easy to work with.
He's easy to colour, Rodney, as well, isn't he? All the different colour scarves and everything like that, yep.
Yeah, and again, when you're going around your panels, it doesn't matter what size panel you want to work with. If you just put the corner in the same place and twist the card round, you're going to know that you're in the same placement on all sides each time, whether you're working on a square or a rectangle. So there we have our perfectly stamped little tab to go onto the inside. Now I did mine in slightly different colours last time.
That could have like a longer stamped verse, like a carol.
That could be your envelope.
Could be your envelope.
Could be your envelope. You know, we spend so much time making lovely cards and then put them into boring white envelopes. Stamps like these really give you the opportunity to go in and decorate an envelope. You could even then do the same corner on the actual point of the envelope so that when you turn the card around to open it, it's got that same detail on it. And that's the joy of having a corner stamp.
Smart, yep.
So then all we're going to do to finish this one off is open this up.
No, is that our Christmas sentiments?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
So in the middle, I've added wishing you all the joy in the world this festive season. I'm going to place that down there and then bring this one in to finish that off. And again, just coordinating with our colours to the outside.
Jay, have you got another, I know we're finishing this one, have you got another demo up your sleeve?
Of course we have.
So I'm just thinking, we've got time, and why not do it?
Okay.
Just to put it in your mind.
There you go.
There we go. The
Nice
two that have been
and
done
simple.
so far.
Nice and easy.
And again, batch making that, maybe different colour on Rodney, or maybe different colour of the snowflakes.
Yeah.
Change it completely up, make it more masculine, make it more feminine. But these two cards are very different, yet they're from the same show. So whatever your taste is, whatever you want to do, maybe who you're shopping for, maybe younger members of the family, maybe the grandkids will want to use Rodney this year and then not next year. Well, to get hold of Rodney for 25% off,
Perfect.
that's the time to order. So if we can, that's what this show is all about. And you shop jamieonthecraftstore.com. That's where you get hold of everything on this show. And also, there was a non-Christmas show at 10 a.m. of your latest for the vintage travel side of things. So maybe if that's what you're after, they were called like boats and liners and airplanes and cars and bikes and bicycles, all sorts. It's all on the same website, jamieonthecraftstore.com.
So this is the one that we're going to do next, and this one's quite a fun one because again it doesn't actually have to really be Christmas. It's down to how you finish it off and what additions you add to it, but the concept's quite a fun and easy one to do.
I see a scene builder.
Yeah, so we're going to bring in our scene elements. So we're going to start off, we'll just do one of these for speed, but we're going to bring in the trees and we're going to add on our piece of card and we're going to send this through the machine. And this is just really about showing you how to do your placement for these because it's actually quite simple to do, but it means that you can build up your scene like I have really easily. So we're going to start off by just,
I didn't go far. Didn't go far.
That was lucky.
Yeah.
Usually they bounce and they're gone for
Just
miles,
gone forever.
aren't they?
Undercounters.
So we've cut our tree line already. Now this is really important for you to see as well because this will actually marry up so you can continue that as far out as you want to. So maybe you want to have this wrapped around the edge of a cracker. Maybe you want it to go around like a decorative candle. Maybe you want it to go around the base of a cheese board. I don't know,
nice.
whatever you're doing, you could extend that to be whatever size you want it to be. Once we've cut that part, because we want to build up our little circular scene and we want all different heights, we're just going to bring in the circle that is with the sentiments. So this is the plain circle. It doesn't matter which sentiment you go for, you're going to get the same one in with each of them. And for this one, we're going to pick the high level and we're going to place that down in the middle there and we'll send that back through. And you could, of course, be a bit more frugal with this. You could put it over to one side. So out of that one line, you're going to get 2 or 3 of these. And then, of course, it's down to where you put the circle to how deep that scene's going to be. And that's really what I'm trying to show you, is how simple it is to take something that you might think is going to be a big border, but actually just home in on having it in small areas.
I'm really impressed with the scene builder with the trees and then the houses. You could really go to town with some sort of illumination element through the windows of the houses, whether it's like just gold cardstock or whether it's actually lights. I don't know, you could do all sorts, couldn't you?
It could be. Yeah, absolutely. So we've cut this piece out. This is the part that we're actually after, is just this part of our circle. So if we jump ahead a little bit, let's bring in my pieces that I've already been working with here. We'll start building some of these up. So we've got our blue circle. This, of course, is one of the ones that comes with the set as well.
Yes.
So I think this is the Happy Christmas, if I remember rightly, but I might be wrong on that. You get a fluted edge circle in with one of them.
Happy Christmas.
Is it?
It is Happy Christmas. Good product knowledge.
Honestly.
There's a lot to remember on this show. Fair
Memory
play.
like a sieve, so it's good for me. So yeah.
Happy Christmas, all the Merry Christmas are both $5.99 rather than $7.99.
And then all we're doing is just carrying on building. So we're going to go through our trees and now we're going to bring
So you
in
recommend
a little,
building up like with
Yeah,
pads
just
or
little
glue?
foam tape behind them. Just there's a little depth between them. And you can set them off on different angles if you want to. You could do all sorts to these. Again, if you do the technique that we did in the very first demo, where we was cutting our trees out in different layers, you could do the same to put a colour behind the windows. So if you want all the windows in gold, for instance, or you want yellow for lights on, whatever you prefer, you can easily do that.
that as a tag.
Absolutely.
It's a very elaborate tag, but why not?
But it could be, couldn't it? There's no reason why that couldn't be
Like a
tag.
bauble, yep.
So onto our card, very quick and simple card this time. We're going to start off with our 8x8 card. We've already added on a piece of our night sky navy.
I have challenged you. There's 2.5 minutes, Jay.
Oh, is that? Okay,
Yeah.
speed up a bit then.
Now, remind us, when are you next on? Are you on anywhere else soon? Are you doing your own thing soon? Where do we see you? How often are you on?
Highlight Crafts, I'm on the 22nd. I'm on a live every Monday night at 7. And then I'm sure we'll be back here soon.
Wonderful.
You can't escape us. You can't.
Quite right too.
Can't leave
Can't
for
wait for you
long.
to bring Halloween next month.
Halloween. Probably will be. Okay, and then onto our frame. So with our frames, this is one of our foiled inkable frames. We're going to add that down in the centre. We're going to check our card opens the right way, and we're going to stick on our little element to the middle of that one. And then lastly, we're going to finish this off with one of our little sleighs, which of course comes in the scene builder set as well. We'll just add that going over the top there. And there you go. Nice and done.
That, you know what's funny? That is my personal favourite card on the show. But that one would be Barney's, and that one would be Emily's.
And that's what it's about, though, isn't it, with Christmas? Is trying to go off and cater for all the different styles people are into.
Defo. And you can see how they all work together. That one, sorry, this sort of centrepiece of this last one we just done could have gone on here as a topper or something like that.
Yeah, of course it could. Yeah.
Next to him, whatever you fancy. Right, we're going to wander back to the big display. I'm going to pop those down. Thank you, Jay.
It's all right.
Rightio, friends. Come with us, because we are out of time for demonstrations. In fact, there's, what is it, 1 minute on the show, Jay? 53 seconds. Come with me.
You want me?
Yeah, of course I do. All time. Never leave my side. At all times. And I'm quietly amazed that our batteries have lasted all this time.
We did well with that, didn't we? We did.
That's a little in thing here where we are,
down.
we've got an extra show out of them. Nevertheless, Jamie, thank you for taking 25% off.
No problem.
It's something that you is like a special offer, right? Let's do it for one off show on the craft store. If it helps you guys outside to start crafting at Christmas or to push that budget to start early and save for the 25% off, you can do. Bravo. Jamie on thecraftstore.com. Jamie, if that website's like a pop-up website, all other times, how do we buy from you?
So head to the same website if it's easier for you, but on there will be a little link that says head to our stockist page. We don't sell direct through Jamie Rodgers Crafts, so if you head to that list, it will show you all of our stockists literally around the world that you can find our items at.
Jamie, thank you. And thanks, Peter. Thank you
Sure.
guys for watching. Thank you for all of your comments. Now is your time to save 25% off Christmas. Cheerio.